René, thanks very much for joining us. There's been quite a big focus on science and technology, big focus on life sciences, obviously through the pandemic, but science and technology more broadly, and that coming much more into the sort of focus, I suppose, in terms of real estate. What are some of the drivers for that? And I suppose, how are you seeing the outlook, and particularly for the science and technology side?
Yeah, I think what you see happening is that companies more and more realize that if you want to bring new products, new processes, new technologies, new platforms to the market, you cannot do it all yourself. So what you see is that companies in their R&D strategy are looking for, hey, can we not cooperate with universities, with specific technology institute, with new startups, etc. Now, in that strategy, which we call open innovation, then it becomes more interesting to be close to each other. So even if these companies are not part of your own corporate R&D activities, then being close to each other helps. So that's a reason why we see all over Europe the growth of technology parks, science parks, campuses, whatever the name is, innovation quarters, because the proximity to each other, everybody with its own capabilities, at the end of the day, facilitates and fosters collaboration, and that collaboration should lead to smarter, cheaper, faster solutions and results of your R&D.
And I know you're researching across the world, René, but obviously you're personally based there in the Netherlands. So what's the situation there in terms of the science and technology side? I guess, how is the market developing? I mean, it's interesting. We've had discussions before around, logistics not being a sector kind of 10 years ago. Do you see this as the beginning of something where maybe this is going to be its own institutional sector in the next, say, 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, I think that will be the case, actually. And I'm saying that already for 5 years. So I still have 5 or 10 years to go with my expectation. The reason is the drivers of companies to work together, because you cannot have all the intelligent people for new products on your own payroll. The driver for working together, that's not fading away. The driver also that it's easier to work with somebody across the road than with somebody 10,000 miles away. Even though we know that we have remote cooperation opportunities, that driver is also not going away. So I think that the focus of companies to be at spots, and we see that in the Netherlands as well, because there are a number of mature science parks, but also upcoming technology parks. These drivers are still there. So we see science and tech hotspots developing, like we have also in logistics real estate, where you can put on a map where are the locations in Europe, or in this case in the Netherlands, where logistics real estate focuses. And I think particularly around universities, particularly around large technology corporate R&D departments of large tech companies, that you will see all over Europe and also in the Netherlands, that those locations become interesting because you see there a kind of magnet effect. There is a university with a renowned university hospital, and the companies want to cooperate with those researchers and those professors and those doctors. And that element of companies focusing and looking for each other proximity, that makes a location where they concentrate interesting from a real estate perspective.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that develops. We'll renew it before 5 years' time for sure, René, just to find out.
Invite me over 5 years again, and we'll see whether I was right.
Great. Thanks very much for joining us, René.
Okay, appreciate it.